I'm starting a podcast. What is it going to be about? I'm not sure. I'm eating my Ben and Jerry's because I'm very anxious about doing this, and I eat my feelings. I have a lot of different interests. I like to explore ideas, concepts. I dabble in history, politics, nature, space. I really like to understand relationships and human interaction. I'm a very big fan of mental health and emotional wellness. So I guess I will talk about all of these, just whatever itches my mind. For example, I really like making lists. So to give you an idea of what my mind is like, here's a top 5 things of what I wish to witness in my lifetime.
Number 1. The fall of capitalism.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm very anti-capitalist. And I don't know what we're calling it today. Like, is it late stage capitalism? Techno-feudalism? Ridiculous. It sucks. I hate it.
Number 2. Emotional healing.
I was reading the other day that human beings as a species evolved as prey, not as predators. So fear is very ingrained in our biology because it keeps us safe. Our brain doesn't care about making us happy. It cares about making us safe. But then again, we also developed a very advanced neocortex frontex. Like, I don't know how advanced, but it's the most advanced in our planet, in theory. Very anthropocentristic, I know. It gives us the ability to overcome this fear, to work through it, to not be driven by subconscious responses that don't serve us anymore. And in order to be there, we need to heal. That's it.
Number 3. A new education system.
I love education, but I'm not a great fan of how it works today, for the most part. For example, I believe that we have 4 bodies. We have our physical body, we have our mental body, and that's our ideas, our thoughts. We have our emotional body, our feelings, and then we have a spiritual body somewhere. And all of those have different needs. All of those needs are equally important. And how can we have an education system that only cares about the first 2? Mostly academic. And at the same time, I understand why we compartmentalize subjects. Like, we want to study these and these and these to understand them better. But then we need to mix them together. Like, that's how everyday life works. We're always all of these together. And we are not just one part separate. So that should be integrated into our education system, I guess. And then again, I do believe that the universe is fractal in nature. What that means is that all of these needs are essentially the same, a complex manifestation of a very simple truth. What is that? That's what I'm exploring.
Number 4. Empathy and compassion become the main focus of society.
This goes very well with number 1. But it's just not capitalism, socialism, communism. Those didn't always exist. So why can't we create something new? Something that is based on empathy and compassion instead of power and gathering resources. I really do think, again, we need to be emotionally healed in order to create something like this. Because we are so driven by fear. This is just circling back. If we heal, we are not going to be individualistic. We will respect our differences. We are unique individuals that need to live in groups. And to get there, we need to be more tolerant. But I really do like Karl Popper's paradox of tolerance, which says that the one thing that a tolerant society cannot tolerate is intolerance. Because that opens the door to hate and other stuff, and we don't want that. So we just need to be careful. I also like the word individual. Not individualism, okay? Individual. Like, I am an individual. You guys are an individual. And it's the same root as the word indivisible, which makes sense. Like, I cannot divide my consciousness into 2 persons unless I had the ID. Then again, there's some studies that say that all of our psyches are fragmented somehow. Not to the extent of developing different personalities, but still. Are we really indivisible? Are we really individuals? To be explored.
And number 5. I want to watch a whale.
This one might seem off topic, but then again, is it? In some esoteric circles, they believe that whales are the other species on our planet that have a higher degree of consciousness. Do we have the highest degree of consciousness? In any case, I know that I love whales. They're so beautiful and so relaxing. I want to watch one. I want to swim with one. I want to go scuba diving with them, but not like a touristic thing. I don't want that to become a thing. So Maybe a documentary, maybe a scientific expedition someday. I do like exploring the spiritual realm, you know. It gives some mystery to life. The same reason I don't like knowing how magic works. I like to be surprised. I like to be in awe. As you can tell, I don't really have a niche. I have what the cool kids are calling nowadays a multipotential personality. I'm a renaissance man. Some people say it's just undiagnosed ADHD, but my therapist does not agree, and she knows me very well. It is not really my intention to teach about any of this. I am not an expert. If anything, I want to learn more. I want to explore more. I want to meet people that know these topics or enjoy talking about these things and just engage in conversation, in discussion. I would love to build a community. And I just want to keep digging into all of these things that often haunt my mind, which gets very restless. I do have a few tricks to calm down though. For example, gazing at the moon. I love the moon. Today is a full moon. I've decided that my podcast is going to be out every full moon. And you know, I have my moonstone. It's been through every solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. It's well recharged. And whenever I gaze upon the moon, it's like I merge with the universe somehow. I dissociate completely. I'm not here. To some people, the sheer scale of the universe is enough to make them feel insignificant. You know, like some vertigo sensation of how little we are. But to me, it's the opposite. I feel infinite. I feel eternal. I'm just part of it. I used to have so much urgency in life with everything, with work, with relationships, with friendships, with studies. I had a serious case of the FOMO. And instead of allowing myself to meet my own needs, I would just put on some mask. I played a role that I was expected to play, and I tried to fit in, but I don't do that anymore. I think that's what FOMO is, just a fear of missing out and therefore be excluded, because we are social beings, and not belonging creates fear. So we try to belong in any way possible, and a constant sense of urgency appears. But whenever I look at the firmament, that goes away. It's like this movie, Arrival, from Denis Villeneuve. God, I love that movie. Time becomes inconsequential. I'm everywhere at the same time. I'm a kid again, and I'm on the beach. There's the sound of the waves breaking onto the shore, and the only worry I have is not missing the next shooting star. I'm 21 again, and I'm trying a long-distance relationship for the first time. I remember we used to look at the moon to remind us that we were not that far away. It made us feel connected. I am single at the moment. And you know the one thing that I really miss about being in a relationship? The pillow talk. I mean, of course I miss the affection, the sharing, the dates, trying out new experiences, planning and dreaming of the future. I miss the sex. I miss all of that. But the only reason all of those things were special was because we had created an emotional connection. There was emotional intimacy. And to me, pillow talk encompassed all of that. It's a very special moment after you've been together physically and you have so many hormones running through your body and you're just so vulnerable and you're embracing each other, caressing each other, sharing your mind, sharing your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, knowing that you're not judged, and you make each other feel safe. It's an amazing experience. I guess being highly sensitive has its perks. And the key word here is safeness, which is different than safety. Safety is about removing threat, but safeness is about creating comfort, creating security, and it's based on love. I really hate that the word intimacy nowadays is used as a synonym of sex, because it is so much more. I really like this wordplay that says intimacy is the same as saying into me, see. And emotional safeness is necessary for real intimacy. It takes time to build. It can be fragile at the beginning, easily broken, but with effort, it can become something new. And especially if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, if you explore yourselves, and if you don't create something out of trauma, but out of a conscious decision that another person is going to be good for you. I will talk about this. It's a very interesting topic. In any case, I guess this is a good preview of how my mind works, what I like to talk about, If you stayed this long, well, thank you. I'm gonna officially start next month by analyzing The Little Prince, a book by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. It's a children's book, some might say, but I think it holds so much wisdom. It's a book for all ages, and I think it helped me understand a lot about affective connections and how to know if I can trust people or not. That was a very difficult thing for me in the past. So, until next time, and have a great day.